Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Mr. DC Universe Freshman back with another video. Today we're going to be reviewing my adventures with Superman. Y'all liked the last video. I wanted to review it again, but I'm finna get into why I didn't shortly. But yeah, like and subscribe. Next week, well, this upcoming week, I'm gonna try to do horror. Like I'm been talking about it. I'm gonna cover Obsession. Then I also want to talk about like a few horror themes and horror characters. But now let's get into Superman. Okay, so this episode, so I didn't cover the last two episodes because I felt like the last two episodes were kind of meaningless. I ain't gonna lie, they were kind of meaningless. And this episode, it was okay, and I actually liked this episode, and I liked it. But it's like, dang, I feel like they're kind of playing because they don't know if they're going to get a season 4, and it's like you're kind of playing. Like, why would you waste our time with like two filler episodes? I hate when anime does that too, but this has less episodes, so why would you waste our time with filler episodes? Like, you don't have like 100 and some episodes. Like, why would you just waste our time? And then the episodes they gave us could have spent more time. We could have spent more time with the first Future John rather than the, or even the second Future John, to be honest, in those two episodes that they gave us. Like, we could have had more character development for Kara and even Jimmy's relationship, even though that's really not even interesting to me at this point in time. But let's start off with what happens in the episode. So Kara, I mean, what's it called? Future John, and then I forgot the other one's name. His sister come back from the future. Future John this time is very angsty teenager vibes, but we'll get into that. He doesn't actually remember who he used to being actually. So this is either they erased that John from the timeline by fixing his future, so he had no need to come to back, or like this is like they're doing a whole like parallel timelines thing, so like each branch leads to something else awful that they have to stop, and I think that's what they're doing. But moving on, so they talk for a little while. They all sit there. And Kara flies over. Jimmy and Kara talks about their relationship, and this is honestly something I'm kind of conflicted about, because on the same point I like it, and at the same point I feel like they're dragging things out. This is one of the things that they're dragging out. It's like it could have been done in 2 episodes, but honestly, I kind of like dragged out relationship drama. But at the same time, I don't know about this, and it's kind of just feeling repetitive what they keep doing. And Carl even asked him, "What do you want? Like, what do you want out of this relationship with me and you? Like, what do you want? Like, what is it that you want from this relationship?" But other than that, so they get into it. They're talking with their parents. John is kind of, instead of his like before in the episode, I meant last time we saw him, I guess that's the last John. He was kind of like upbeat, kind of childlike, kind of just amazed at everything. He kind of showed a little hesitation towards Carr, but that's because we learned that, and they may do a twist like that. But I think what happened was, because at the end of this episode he left. That's why John is mad at him, because he left, but then he didn't realize like I guess the things are being controlled by Brainiac, or like has some of that Brainiac programming in them, and they think, oh well, we're not gonna let you come back. And they just think, oh, he just left and abandoned them, and that's why he's so mad at like Quark. But it's just like, okay, so they're talking. The sister seems to have more respect for Quark, and especially Lois, because we learn like Lois is the general, and then John even says, "Oh, always mommy's the little perfect soldier," and stuff like that. So then we kind of move on to it. We kind of go outside. Him and Clark kind of like, oh, fuck baseball too. I don't like baseball. Fuck you, dad. It's kind of that whole energy, the whole vibe, but we don't get to find out why, which I'm like, y'all only have 2 episodes left this season. This starting to feel like a complaint video, because it's just like, I want this thing to continue and then more adventures. But so they go to fly because Lex Luthor and Amanda Waller, and this is kind of interesting. Like, they could have spent the last 2 episodes on this. So Lex Luthor is kind of, he shaved his head. I don't know why, They could have said something about that. Deathstroke is kind of testing Lex. He's like, oh, this. And we learned that Deathstroke sold Lex out. But because Deathstroke is, at the end of the day, an assassin with self-interest. He only cares about himself and his people, like his family. But I guess it depends on if we're going to see that or not. But this Deathstroke seems a lot more slimy, like Lex, honestly, and we see that coward side of Lex when he's trying to talk to Amanda Waller, show him his new project and stuff, and it's like, this kind of reminded, this is the Eradicator, and he's like, and she's like, shut it down, and no, I'm not just setting this down, I'm setting you down. Then we fast forward back to the farm, the sister is like, oh, I'm here to kill Lex, so she goes to kill Lex, and Lex, like a little scared ass bitch that he is in this series, panics and be like, oh fuck, and puts the Eradicator on, and the Eradicator kind of reminds me of Cell because of something he does at the end, and then the horror movie aspects of this. Okay, so they fight, and like, okay, everybody comes down. I don't know why the fuck they brought Jimmy, but they brought Jimmy for some reason. I get why Carr brought that nigga, but it's just like, damn, at a certain point they just bring in niggas. So they kind of go down into the tunnels, and then it turns into a horror movie, and this is honestly the best part of the episode. Like, just honest horror. Like, you hear it screaming, and if you don't know if like this thing is able to mimic their voices, you hear it screaming, and the ease that it takes down, it has Kryptonian powers. The ease it's taking them down, like it's taking them down, picking them off one by one. Like, it just feels like kind of how Cell was first introduced in Dragon Ball, like when he was just sucking up all the people and doing stuff like that. It was kind of like a horror movie. And then so they fight him, and then all of them try to help. They jump him, then they take the fight into like kind of the streets. Not Superman. Supergirl does a lot of the work. She fights the fuck, like she does the work. Like she even gets the little power up thing like Clark, but hers is red instead. And it's like, oh, she did that work, and boom, boom, boom. But then he sees an opening, so he tries to shoot them with the laser vision. But then Supergirl jumps in front of it, and she's like, ah. I don't know if she dies here. I think she just goes into a coma. I think because it's like, I don't think people would be way more sad. And I think John would have got his power, but then John tries to fight him too. And he's like, oh, bah, 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 bah. And then bah. But then he sneaks and takes John's time travel thing and then says, you lose. So the Eradicator actually has intelligence and not just a mindless beast. This also reminds me of Cell. Because when he took the time machine, like Future Shell, because the androids were destroyed, so he had to take the time machine, and he had to be weaker. And then it's like, oh, Clark was finna step in the fight, but he's like, no, they don't need you, they need Superman, and that kind of hurt his feelings. And he gets this flash to, oh, I think this is how I can get my powers back. But it's like, damn, they spent this long. It's like, it kind of feels like he barely has power, but it's like, they could did some more with that, but it's like, oh, I gotta go to this, and then Lois is like, no, they need you, and no, it's like, okay, if I do this and get my powers back, we can see this, because Lois thinks she failed because, oh, she told her daughter to kill somebody, and her daughter, instead of her coming herself. But yeah, so they go do that. Bizarro gets mind controlled by the Brainiac robots, and then they knock out Superman, and we're gonna find out more about that. But I kind of want to go on a little rant here. It's like, why the fuck did they waste so much time? Like, they wasted so much time, kind of like I do in some of my videos, honestly. They wasted so much time just doing nothing. Like, it's like they were just doing nothing. Like, the whole season, they were just like, there were so many filler episodes with nothing. Like, just, oh my god. Like, they could have even had Cyborg Superman be the villain, because it's like the Eradicator barely had any like presence and stuff like that. But it's like they could have had Cyborg Superman just be the villain for the entire series, honestly. Even with, like, they could have had it, oh well, we stopped him once, but then he comes back in something worse. It's like, at this point, because it's just like, dang, you only have 2 more episodes left, and it's like, unless the last episode is like an hour long or something, it's just like, why? And then it's just like they wanted to do all this other stuff and stuff, but it's like they didn't make it come through. Like, just filler episodes about bullshit, honestly. We could have even had a filler episode. If you wanted to do a episode like that, we could have had a filler episode take place in the future or something to show us, like, But that's gonna be my review. That's my opinions. I will be doing more horror focused things because like I don't want to just get tied down into one thing when I do these videos. I'm going to be everything. But that's my opinion. I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.